Hello, you're very welcome to this training camp edition of the Under Centre podcast. I am here at Rhinos training, post Rhinos training, here with the head coach, Daithi Hosford. Daithi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on there.
No problem at all. I am wrecked now after that.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm fine. I came here at the same time you did. I'm not wrecked at all.
I know. I just, obviously, all that running you do is helping.
Look, what can I say,
Body not made by cardio. That's all it is.
Same.
Look, we are 4 weeks from the start, 4 weeks from the first Rhinos game of the season, which is against the Minotaurs, which is going to be an interesting game because it is a battle that the Minotaurs have had the better of the Rhinos in the last few weeks, including that semi-final win last year. Kind of almost as tough an opening to the season as you probably would have expected.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the schedule, the schedule is tough as it is, but we would like to avoid the Minnows to start with. But here we are. We can only play what's put in front of us, so we just have to do it. It's a replay that semi-final that broke our hearts back in July. So we'll try and tap into that as we go.
Yeah, it has been though a fixture where we start. Well, I have to stop saying now. I'm going to stop my best. I'm going to try my best to stop saying we in this interview. But it started off last season with a defeat to the Minotaurs, where you'd probably say the Rhinos really weren't ready for the start of the season. Finished the regular season with a game at home to them, again a defeat, maybe a little closer, maybe a few eyes were looking past it at a potential semi-final. And then of course how close that semi-final did end up coming, with that, like you said, last minute field goal that was blocked. But it's a bit of change for them now this year in terms of a new head coach, which will probably bring in a new sort of offensive structure, offensive scheme, and defense too. Is it still for the Rhinos? Is it going to be still the same thing? Focus on their jobs, not ours, their jobs before we start looking at.
Yeah, 100%, Darren. Since I've taken over, this is now my 4th year as head coach. We've always focused in-house, always at what we're doing ourselves. Obviously, we'll have a look at anything we can around how they set up. We'll have a look at the games from last year and see where we can pick up things to improve on. But we're very much focused on what we can do and how we will approach the game. Again, look, when you're talking about the 3 games there, if I could have one game back, I'd take the first game of last season back, because that was the one I didn't feel we gave ourselves any sort of justice. We didn't do ourselves any sort of justice. Even we weren't ready to go, and I'd like to hopefully put that right in the 15th of March. So.
Yeah, and with the Rhinos preparation this year, you happy with, I guess, numbers, happy with schedule, happy with sort of returning veterans as well this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't changed a whole heap this year. We've managed to hold on to the vast majority of our team from last year. There'll be a few changes, there'll be a few things that we'll have tweaked. We've a couple of lovely new players have come up and joined us, a couple of returning players as well that we're hoping to make use of, having had a couple of years out of the game. So it's building nicely. We're just getting ready now, I'll say. Not
And I guess that is the thing though, it's the anticipation, isn't it, of just getting back to the season. It's not a long season, which is good sometimes, tough on other times, especially with that long break from, say, October to Christmas, when we sort of get rookies in and start training, and then when you can get after Christmas and get full go. But how important is it for you to get guys coming down, even despite the weather, even getting playbook sorted, getting calls done? Any sort of way that these guys can get better is only going to help in the long run. Yeah,
100%. You hit the nail on the head there. The last 6 weeks have been an absolute nightmare. You can only have a look around you here at the muck and the puddles that we've been training in.
I try to be a little strategic now when we get the 4G pitch in the background to not make it look as bad as it has been.
That we absolutely are not allowed on right now. But yeah, we've tried to do a couple of things. We've tried to keep the teams together through playbook sharing WhatsApp groups, through calls, through getting lads together away from the field, just to keep things ticking over. Because again, it is now, we're very much on the sprint into the 15th of March. As you mentioned, the season itself is very short. It's the 15th of March to hopefully the 18th of July, I think is the final date.
Yeah,
so
it was semi-final 4th of July, so 2 weeks. Yeah,
2 weeks. Yeah. So it's a real sprint from the time we kid up here on the 15th of March. It's a real sprint right into the 18th of July. So trying to get as much work done away from the elements, because again, it's incredibly unpredictable. We don't know. Like, I mean, it's nice to see the sun. I mean, we haven't seen the sun in about 8 or 9 weeks. So it's nice. So we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, the weather gods knew we were doing this interview today, so they brought the sun out. Only to get rid of the wind for a little bit, that would help too. But,
absolutely.
We last season, obviously, with the success of the Mavericks, sort of, running through that league in Division 1, I think the most points scored, least points conceded. I think they went through it at a canter. But I guess you could say this year, with the Panthers coming down, not as strong as the Mavericks were last year, so there is an awful lot of change with other teams as well. Crusaders will look hopefully to get better. The Stags with their first season done now, the Giants looking to get better. We have obviously the Vipers now getting a few players, old vets back as well. I already mentioned about the change at the Minotaurs. Do you think, all in all, this year that Division 1 can be awful lot more competitive? I
think so. Yeah. Just looking from the outside, again, you don't really know until the season kicks off who's strong where and that. But from looking at other teams from the outside, I do feel like there's a bit more of a bunching together of all of the teams. We're all in and around the same standard now. There's going to be, we've 8 tough competitive games ahead of us to make the playoffs, and then hopefully 2 more tough competitive games at the back end of that if things go our way. But it is incredibly tight, and that's why we have to be ready to go on the 15th of March. It's the last couple of years we've been able to kind of not write off the first game of the season, but almost we've taken a loss in them, and we've kind of been like, look, that's okay. I don't think we can get ourselves behind and start playing catch up in the division this year.
Yeah, exactly. And sorry, I missed out the Eagles, who, despite having low numbers last year, were still a very competitive side. Still play hard, especially with head coach McCooey there as well, bringing his experience too. But you mentioned sort of the first game. I think we go through the schedule itself. We start with the Minotaurs at home, but then it's 2 tough away games after, against the aforementioned Panthers, and then probably the longest trip of the season is going to be going up north to play the Vipers. So like you mentioned, there's absolutely no room for error before we come home and play the first of the double header against the Crusaders. So absolutely trying to, ideally you want to go 4-0, but what in your head would be an ideal scenario coming into the second half of the season? Coming into the second half of the season,
obviously you're aiming for 4-0, but again, if we can be positioned nicely for a 3-1 or a 2-2, I'd be comfortable enough with where we would be, because we have, as you've seen yourself over the last couple of years, the second half of the season we start to roll. I mean, obviously we are aiming for 4-0. I think we've the talent to go 4-0, but again, it all depends on what happens on the day and the way, as I mentioned, the way the teams are set up now, and the tightness of every team. Aiming for 4-0 and being 4-0 are 2 very different things. So again, look, we'll plough on.
Yeah. I heard your centre's really good when it comes to that sort of thing and driving the team forward. So you never know.
Yep, centre's great.
We're going to wrap it up here. Like we mentioned, this is how many years now as head coach?
This is 4. This is year 4. Yeah.
4 years as head coach. If you had to sort of rank your team in terms of the last 4 years, where do you think you would put this team?
In terms of skill and in terms of talent that we have available to us, this is as good a as good a talent group as I've had. This is, like, numbers wise, is better than we've had. It's just, I suppose, again, we've had a few things go against us in terms of like having to call training sessions off. Couple of injuries that we've picked up, that we've had players down and out. So it's about getting them together and getting them executed. But I would have them, if not above the team that made the final, very, very close to them. So.
All right, perfect. Listen, Daithi, appreciate the time, even in this win. I know you want to go home.
Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to the 15th of March in Castleknock here against Minotaurs.
Thanks a million.